But we begin tonight with a Supreme Court judgment that is both a personal triumph and a much larger precedent. Perhaps in the long term, a judgment that won't change the way justice is done in New Zealand, but may prevent it from changing. This was the case Anna Osborne and Sonia Rockhouse took against WorkSafe New Zealand. Anna, who was widowed by the Pike River mine explosion 7 years ago to the day last Sunday. Sonia, who lost her son. Although a case against Pike River's CEO Peter Whittal was initially prepared, WorkSafe dropped it after Whittal agreed to pay over $3 million to the Pike families. This afternoon the Supreme Court ruled, and I quote, "A declaration is made that the decision of WorkSafe New Zealand to offer no evidence in the prosecution of Peter William Whittal was unlawful." It was a victory for the two women who took the case, and it was a victory for Nigel Hampton QC, the lawyer who took the case, because he believed people with money shouldn't be able to buy their way out of prosecution. I spoke to him and Anna Osborne just minutes after the decision was released.
I'm feeling pretty elated. We've got justice in the end.
Can you tell me about it? What does the decision say?
Well, it says that this was a bargain to stifle a prosecution and is unlawful.
And that was your argument all along, wasn't it?
That was the argument all along, John.
And so this is unequivocally and singularly a victory.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. After being knocked back by three courts in the land, and to finally take it to the Supreme Court and win. And know that this decision was an unlawful decision made by MB to drop charges against Peter Whittal and to pay the victims some money is just not right. So it's a huge victory for the families, and I just am immensely proud of our wonderful legal team who have gotten us to where we are today, and also to remember Helen Kelly for instigating this.
Why was this so important to you, Anna? Because in a way, what WorkSafe was saying is, we simply can't handle this. We're not sure how we will go. And so here is something, families. Take this and go away. Why were you determined to not go away?
Because justice should not be bought in New Zealand, and that's what this was all about. You cannot... I'll use an example that was actually shared in the Supreme Court. A person who murdered somebody cannot go to that victim's family and say, well, I don't like the charge of murder against me. If I give you some money for this, will you drop the charges? And that's pretty much what this was. There's 29 men who went to work that day and were killed, and not one person had been held to account. And then WorkSafe thought it was safe and okay to do a backroom deal and put money in the family's bank accounts so that all charges were dropped against Peter Whittal. How unlawful is that?
Well, the Supreme Court says it is unlawful. Full stop. That's the Supreme Court.
Absolutely. So this is a monumental win for the families, our legal team, and hopefully for any other victim in New Zealand now, because the eyes will be on this case, and this will set a precedent for any other cases like this.
And that's the point, Nigel, you were making. This is not only a very particular and personal victory for Anna and Sonia, Anna who lost her husband, Sonia who lost her son, but Nigel, it is a very big victory in law, isn't it?
Well, it underlines a very important principle, which has existed a long, long time, and I never thought in my career in the law that I would ever see the day where a bargain where money is paid would end a prosecution. This puts finally away any suggestion that you can buy justice in our New Zealand system. It's a principled system. It is not a pragmatic system run on the basis of payment of money. Rich persons can pay their way out. That's not on. It's never been part of the common law and never should be.
Nigel, who went to who? Anna, who went to who? Did you, Nigel, approach the families, or did Anna, you approach Nigel?
Let's bring Helen Kelly into this as well, because Helen was our battler, and she saw that it's stunk what happened in the beginning, and Nigel also. We all kept in close contact, and all of them actually turned around and says, hey, this is just not right, you know, we cannot let this lie. Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened, John. I rather foolishly said in an email to Helen Kelly, let me know about some of this forestry stuff that you're trying to set up a few years ago now. And lo and behold, there was a file at my door about forestry matters, forestry safety, forestry deaths the same day. And then following on from that, she said, oh, look, Nigel, there's just one other small thing you could do for me. and that was the Anna and Sonia thing, and 3 years later, here we are at the end of that road. So that's really how it happened. I mean, I had knowledge of Pike River from acting for the miners' union during the Royal Commission inquiry. I didn't act for the families, but having all that knowledge that I'd acquired during the Royal Commission, it rolled on nicely to enable me to pick up the cudgels here, say to myself, there's something awful happened here, let's see if we can fix it.
And you have?
I think we've gone a fair measure towards it, I think, Anna, haven't we?
You have totally nailed it. And from the family's perspective, oh my gosh, we are so blessed to have had you in our lives to walk this journey with us, and also to recognise Helen Kelly's tremendous work in all of this as well. So it's just a huge victory, and the smile on my face, well, hopefully you can tell by my voice, it's just huge. For this to happen now is just incredible, and it is, you know, I just feel like after all the crap that we put up with for the last 7 years, things are all starting to fall into place now, and, you know, my man might even be coming home.
Anna Osborne and Nigel Hampton QC speaking to us earlier. Later in the programme, we're going to talk more to Nigel Hampton QC about the point of law that is at stake here and what this means as a precedent, because we think it is an important one. We tried to reach Peter Whittal at his new workplace in Sydney today. We were told he was there but wasn't available to come to the phone. Peter Whittal is never available to come to the phone. We have tried him many times.